Hello, you're watching Hot Feed, your number one source for celebrity gossip, relationship advice, and the lowdown on all the hot stuff. On today's episode of Hot Feed, is Channing Tatum a reptilian humanoid? A question many of us have been asking ourselves recently. This theory that there's a correlation between Mr. Tatum and the reptilians has existed since time began, but the speculation has only been talked about in hushed whispers up until now. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the name Channing Tatum, but I'll still give a brief overview. Most of us remember Mr. Tatum from his breakout performance as Bob Davenport in the TV show CSI Miami. The sky truly was the limit for Mr. Tatum after this episode hit the air. He went on to deliver another Oscar-nominated performance as the bartender in Ricky Martin's She Bangs music video. I'm not sure if you could catch that, so I'll slow it down and rewind it. That's Channing Tatum right there. Yup, that's him throwing the drink mixer. No, it's not a stunt double, that's him actually throwing it and catching it. But what you can't see is under the bar he's also solving a Rubik's Cube with his penis. The desire to be a bartender in a Ricky Martin music video has been a dream that's lived on in the hearts of young men, myself included, since Ricky Martin hit the scene in 1999 with his debut album, Ricky Martin, and Mr. Tatum lived that dream. And you'd think that'd be enough for a man. You'd think that man could retire and say he succeeded at life, but not Mr. Tatum, no. Mr. Tatum was just getting started. His thirst was not yet quenched, so he turned to a Mountain Dew commercial. This early 2000s commercial made Channing Tatum a household name. In this ad, Mr. Tatum drives a fast car, does a cool barrel roll, and then steals a Mountain Dew from an old surfer. That's right, fuck you, buddy. Channing Tatum was thirsty and he guzzles down the Mountain Dew. All while the Hoobastank song Crawling in the Dark is playing. The slogan Do the Do then pops up, a message from Mr. Tatum no doubt. Now I know on the surface Bob Davenport may seem like an ordinary man who's done the do, bartended in a Ricky Martin music video and such, but I'm here to tell you there's a lot more to Mr. Tatum's story than that, than just what you see on the TV. What they don't want you to know is Channing Tatum could very well be a reptilian humanoid. If you're unfamiliar with the reptilian humanoid theory made popular by David Icke, however the fuck you pronounce his last name, I'll briefly touch on it. Basically, Icke suggests that there's an undercover race of lizard people that control our world. They have the ability to shapeshift and merge with already existing humans, and it's speculated they already control those in power. Recently, scientists have begun to analyze the theory, and some scientists truly believe the theory is correct. Now let's look at some of the evidence for it. Here's a picture of Queen Elizabeth. Looks innocent enough, but look at her neck. Do you see this? Do you see how it's changing color? She's going back into her reptilian form by accident. Here's an innocent picture of George Bush, or so it would seem on the surface, but look at his eyes. Do you see the vertical pupils? Not too dissimilar from a reptile. Now let's look at Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum looks like a pretty normal guy, no vertical slits for eyes. But let's see what happens when we put him side by side with a real reptilian. Did you see that shit, assholes? Did you see that shitting? Let me show you again. Which one's which? I bet you don't know. Can you spot the difference? There is no difference. Trick question. Channing Tatum is a reptilian humanoid. The proof is in the pudding right here. I'm putting the pudding in front of you. You can taste it, you can smell it, you can feel it, you can put your tits in it. Channing Tatum, undoubtedly reptilian humanoid. You heard it here first on Hot Feed. Hot Feed goes where no other feed will go. Hot Feed, your number one source for everything you ever need to know. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to feed yourself and stay hot.